Good morning. I'm looking at a verse in Joel today. It's quite a long passage actually, but the verse that is so well known is Joel 2, verse 25. I will restore to you the years which the locust has eaten. The hopper, the destroyer, the cutter, my great army which I sent among you. You shall eat in plenty and be satisfied, and praise the name of the Lord your God, who has dealt wondrously with you. Your threshing floors will be full of grain, and the vats overflow with wine and oil. Now Joel spoke to the people at a time when there was a terrible invasion of locusts. And Joel describes three kinds of locusts. We're not really sure what he means by that, whether they were different locusts or whether they were different stages in the life cycle of the locust. But that doesn't really matter, because what it meant was that when these locusts were over the land, the little young locusts ate what was on the ground. The others ate the middle stuff, and the tops of the trees and everything were eaten as well by the bigger locusts. The destruction was total. And it was as a result of the disobedience and foolishness of the people in turning away from God. And sometimes, things that happen to us in our lives are as a result of things we've done, or things we didn't realise were wrong. Perhaps before we came to faith we did things and we're still living with the consequences of them. Or perhaps we have been robbed in different circumstances, because when we turn away from God, or when we live our lives independently of God, we give the enemy an inroad into our lives. We give him an open door, and he takes advantage of us. Boy, does he take advantage of us. Jesus described him in John 10 as a thief who comes only to kill, steal, and destroy. There is nothing nice about the devil and his hordes. There's nothing nice at all. All the evil in this world, all the terrible things that are being done in this world at this time, the source of all of them is the devil. And our foolish cultures celebrate the devil by watching occult films, making films that laugh at or idealize some of the things that the enemy does. And at Halloween, of course, people dress up as the devil, and they use it as a celebration, and it's foolishness. The devil is evil through and through, and he robs in every kind of way. He robs the small and nothing escapes his hand. But when we turn to the Lord, when we invite Jesus into our lives, when we sort ourselves out and we start walking on the right path, this is the promise. I will restore to you the years that the locust has eaten. All the different kinds of destruction that come from the enemy, Jesus will restore. That is our spiritual well-being, our physical well-being, our mental well-being. There's lots of threes in the Bible, and I think the fact that there are three kinds of locusts mentioned in this verse. We are three. We are body, soul or mind, and spirit, or body, soul and mind. Whichever way you look at it, we are three. And some things that happen to us affect our mental health, and some things affect our physical health, and some things affect our spiritual health. But our physical bodies, and when we worry, it is our bodies that are injured and damaged. A lot of bodily illnesses are as a result of our mental illness, our mental disease. And the Lord, This is his promise. I will restore to you the years the locust has eaten. I will restore to you the years the locust has eaten. He will do it. He will, as we look to him, he will sort our lives out. He will restore health and strength to us. He will lift us up. He's in the healing business, healing of every kind. He will sort out our relationships and restore them. Sometimes it takes a very long time because it's not just us that God has to deal with. It's the other people in the relationship. And in a broken relationship, sometimes it's not easy to restore that. It takes a long, but God is at work, always at work, even when we can't see what he's doing. We may think he's not doing anything. I mean, you may think, well, I prayed about that, I've been praying for that, about that for years, and nothing has nothing has happened. That is a lie of the enemy. Every time we cry out to the Lord for help, he responds. But sometimes it takes a lot more than just us that need to change. There has to be a whole sequence of things that have to be adjusted in order for God to answer our prayer. But with God, it is impossible for nothing to happen. With God, nothing is impossible. Whenever we ask God, whenever we invite God into a situation, he takes us up on it because he wants us to live in fullness of life, to have fullness of joy. We can trust him, even when the devastation has been absolute, like it was in the situation that Joel was addressing. Everything was destroyed. Every green leaf was destroyed. The place was devastated, completely and utterly devastated. But the promise is, I will restore to you the years the locust has eaten. And he will. He'll do it for you. And he'll do it for me. Praise his name. So that we can have confidence as we face tomorrow that whatever happens, even if it seems destructive, it may be the result of something we've done or something somebody else has done. But we can trust the Lord that he will not leave us in a state of devastation. He will restore us. Think about it today. God bless you. See you tomorrow.